Okay, so this is a new show alert. T.S. T.S. Madison, girl, here I am. You got me sitting here in front of this television. Girl, what story is it that you're telling, honey? Huh? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for the T.S. Madison Experience. This is season 1. This is episode 1. As I said when we got started, the T.S. has been talking about this. I don't know how familiar you all are with T.S. Madison, but that's kind of what the whole point is. That's what this whole point is. This is a reality show that she has been talking about forever, that she wanted to have her own show. I've been following her for a long time. She's a social media phenom, basically, is what she is. And the TS has been talking about, I'm going to get my own show. I'm going to be on TV. She's been saying this constantly. She's not the only one of her kind, okay? Because I'm a social media person, and a lot of the people who are actually involved, we're all social media people. And a lot of people are always talking about they're going to have a show, they're going to be on TV, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. So now here we are. You're on TV. So like I said, what story is it that you're telling? And so I'm here in front of the television to give it a fair shot and see what is this all about, the T.S. Madison Experience. Now, I'm going to say this right away. I came down here not expecting much. Not expecting much that I didn't know. Because I've been following her since her Vine, literally. I've been following T.S. Madison since she was standing in the door to come on in. I've been following her since that. So I'm saying the T.S. Madison Experience, the show is a show she finally got. She scored a reality show about herself and her life. Okay, but I know herself and I know her life. I've been following her for years. So this was my thing. What is this show going to give me, the person that already knows her? I know it could be a really groovy trip for someone who doesn't know her, maybe just heard of her, know nothing about her. But someone like myself, which there are many, she has tons of followers, who knows about the Queen's Supreme Court, knows about her background, have watched it, and knows where to find all this stuff. Why is it that I need to come over here to WEtv and have a subscription to WEtv to watch what I've already watched, to watch what I already know, to wait week to week to week to see them roll it out when I ain't got to do all that, when all I got to do is take this and go on over there on YouTube and watch it like I've been watching it? What is it that the show is going to do to draw me back weekly? And that was what I wanted to know. So again, sis, what story are you telling? Is it the story that we already know? Or how are you doing it? So I came down and I sat down and I said, let's give it a shot and let's see what happens. Well, I'm pleased to tell you that you can see from my thumbnail that it's not that at all. It's not that at all. This is a show. This is a reality show. This is put together. This is going to keep you coming back. I'm on board. You got my attention, chick. Okay? You got my attention, and we're watching. This is a show. It's not a regurgitation of things that I already lived through with her or clips week to week. It's not going to be week, because that was one of my fears, that this was going to be week to week of clips of the Queen's Supreme Court. I watched the Queen's Supreme Court in real time, so I don't need to come running over here to WEtv to see clips of the Supreme Court, the Queen's Supreme Court from week to week. I don't need to do that. But that's not what this is. This is actually a reality show. This does actually have storylines and interactions and things that you haven't seen and background stuff. Baby, let's go. Listen, let's get started. Let's go. Let's go. We're going to start right off. We're going to go through some of the folks who's involved. First thing out the gate, Tiffany Pollard, New York. New York is a friend of T.S. Madison. First of all, let me just cover T.S. Madison real quick, because that's what they did in the show. They covered Maddie really quickly. She ran it down in the first 15 minutes, who she was, where she came from, and that whole thing. So what I was afraid of, the regurgitation of her life story that I watched and I've heard 25 times and all of that, summed it up 15 minutes. Boom. This is who I am. This is where I came from. This show is all about me. And that's that. She didn't even really touch the fact that she is a transsexual. She is a trans woman originally from Miami, Florida. She didn't really even like just lead all in with that. That came later on. And there was a spot in the show where she actually broke down. It was an excerpt they put in where she broke down and explained trans and what that is. That piece I think was awesome. The way it was done, very tasteful. It was fun. It wasn't scary. It wasn't cringeworthy. It was just really well thought out. Really well thought out, and it was fun, and it wasn't like she was making fun. You know, because explaining transsexualism it's a heavy piece. I thought it was well thought out. Very well thought out, very well shot, and very fun. So right there in the show they did that. There were some things that were really, really good. But like I said, she explained that in her life, you know, she actually she has a sex work background. Now I will say this, okay? First thing we see her, we see Tiffany Pollard, and we see Maddie. First thing I thought was hilarious is these two pumping down the street, okay? And that actually goes into something that I saw that I didn't like. Maybe this little sad hooker they had going down the street. This was a little sad hooker, honey. Because she jumped in, she said what her whole status was on social media, and then she jumped over and she said, you know, I come from a sex work background, you know, but I've changed and I'm expanding into what my brand is and all this stuff. But they showed this little sad hooker going down the street. Ain't nobody gonna make me believe that little sad hooker that was going down the street. Maddie ain't never walked down the street like that, hey. This little sad hooker, honey, she could hardly make it. I said, get her out of here, honey. Sad little tired hooker. I said, child, I don't ever want to see her again, honey, because that's bullshit. That ain't how Maddie was going down the street. Even at the lowest points, Maddie was never that sad and that uncolorful going down no damn street. Now, when they flashed it over and you seen her and New York, Tiffany Pollard, pumping, because that's what she do, pump down the street. Too much life. That's part of her line is, I'm loud, live, and in color. And she is. Big titties, big ass, big mouth. And them two was pumping down the street. Now that's more like it. That's more like, I don't know where they got that little sad hooker that was going down the street. But baby, I said, girl, she is Hunts Point's throwaway, honey. Get her on out of here, honey. Just tired. Anyway, so we get that. And I laughed at that. I was like, child, she's horrible. I don't even want to see her again. Then we see Tiffany and Maddie and their interaction and that they actually have an actual friendship. And basically, she was planning on, she explained about the Queen's Supreme Court and how she was going to, the plan is to try to get a residency like RuPaul has for Drag Race. And she wanted to do that in Atlanta. So that was the whole thing. I said, okay, so this is the basis of what it is that we're trying to do. At this point, the show has already happened. You know, Queen's Supreme Court has become what it is. And She's already done the going around and doing the live version and the live shows, and that was a success. So we did all that. And that was my fear. Like I said, I thought we were going to be running through all of the live shows and all. And I was part of one of the live shows. I was there. I went to see her in Baltimore. You know what I mean? I'm like, child, we lived through all that on YouTube. Like, I was there in Baltimore, and then we lived through, like, where she shared it and all. And I was like, I ain't coming over every week for that, child. You know, I love her dearly, but I mean, that ain't the basis of no reality show. You already did that. That's on YouTube. So that's what I was worried about. But I should have known better. Not that at all. So we go right in. What we're doing is trying to get the residency together while still being online, running the show, still doing the live thing, all of this. This is where we're at. It literally was real time filming her life, trying to get this residency together and build onto the brand. I said, boom, bam, here we go. I'm here for it. So she introduces her team. Child, this team of folks. Right away, when I start seeing the team, I says, the show's going to have everything it needs. Do you understand? We will be back for this every week because this team of folks, baby, let's just start off with Oliver Twixt, or who I'd like to call Lip Gloss, honey. Oliver, baby. First thing I see Oliver Twixt is, he's a YouTuber. Oliver's a lot of things. He wears a lot of different hats. But for Maddie, he wears a lot of lip gloss, and he handles her media presence, and he does a lot of her visuals. Okay, keeps all that stuff together, does a wonderful job. But baby, in his confessionals and all that, Oliver got this lip gloss, and all you see is Oliver sitting up on there, and he's talking, and it's giving. I said, come on through, Oliver. And he is, when you see Oliver, he's a ham. Like, Oliver's a whole mood. He really is hilarious. He has a comedic thing about him that he's just like always waiting to crack a joke. And he sings, and he's all over the place. He is just a damn good time. And he don't mind gagging. Baby, he walks around with Maddie and lets Maddie have it. He just reading, honey, and sliding jams. I said, oh, Oliver. So we got Oliver Twixt. Then we got Chez, which everybody loves Chez. Chez is the baby, honey. That's the baby. That is Maddie's daughter. Oh, Chez. Chez is a part of Maddie's life. Chez is for what we basically call in the LGBTQIA is like Maddie's gay child. Maddie formed a bond with Chez, and Chi's just been with Maddie for years. So he's literally like, he's a family member. That's her daughter. That's Chez. Just funny. So Chez basically is just a family member for the most part. He's a family member. Then we have Craig. Oh, Craig. Attitude. Do you understand? So, when you meet up with Craig, when you see Oliver, you know there's going to be lots of laughs in the show because Oliver is clowning from the door. First thing you see, Oliver, he's running around, he's clowning, making a joke about everything. He can find some humor in pretty much everything. Craig, you already know there's going to be some drama because Craig has attitude. Do you understand me? Craig is giving you very, honey, why are you looking at me? That is Craig. Craig is the showrunner, and he basically does the docket for the show. He keeps things together. He does some of the business side and things of that nature. He's the core of the show. So, but old Craig knows his worth and has no problem with letting you know what his worth is. So, old Craig, honey, and that there's going to be drama with Craig. I said, ain't no way, honey. I know y'all standing around Craig and that mouth, honey. There's going to be some drama. So perfect. You need that for the show. And then you have Legra. Legra is Maddie's business manager. She is, Legra, I think, may end up in this situation being Craig's arch nemesis, if you will. Because their jobs kind of will coincide where they will either, they going to roll together on some things and roll smoothly, and some things they going to bump heads on. And Legra got two'd. So it's going to be interesting with Craig and Legra. Because their stances are already different. We saw that right away about the residency. Legra is for the residency. Craig really isn't. And Legra's thing is, Maddie wants it. She's getting it. Craig is giving, well, I don't really know. And Legra's like, I don't really care if you know. It's happening. So, I'm living to see the dynamic between these two. Living to see the dynamic. And both of them have that very, I know what my worth is. And don't come over here. This is my lane. That is your lane. That's both of them. I love it. So there's definitely going to be, you'll have just enough drama that you need right there. That's just going to be TV gold right there too. We got Mo. Mo and Legra literally are the heterosexuals. They are, I believe, other than Miss Mary, are the ones that are in the whole staff. They are the heterosexuals. Everybody else is really pretty much LGBTQIA. Mo is production. He's production. He seems to be a very nice fella. You know what I mean? Very cool. I'm very cool with everything going on around him. Very knowledgeable about what he does. And he pretty much seems to stay out of the mess. Okay? Out of the mess. He just does his job. And the only person he have to deal with is that Maddie. I ain't got to her yet. Okay, because we gave you a little bit about who she is. But, you know, Maddie is a piece of work. Maddie's a piece of work. But what star isn't? She's a piece of work. And then we met Miss Sophia. An absolute, she's a guest judge. Sophia's a recurring guest judge on the show. So is Funky Dineva, but we haven't been introduced to Funky Dineva yet. But Miss Sophia is a guest judge that has a recurring role on the Queen's Supreme Court. And Miss Sophia is a drag legend. Flat out. Been around forever. She's been around forever. Funny, funny, funny. We had some footage. I goddamn Miss Sophia. She took that damn wig and spun her wig all the way around. I said, Miss Sophia, if you don't stop. But she's drag royalty. She's been around forever, and she is very, very popular and very good at what she does. And she is funny, and she is a scene stealer. If you get into a situation where you have to be on screen with Miss Sophia, you better bring your doggy bag. Do you understand? You're going to need lunch. You need lunch, and you want to take your doggy bag because you're going to want to take some of what she brings home. You won't just steal a scene from Miss Sophia. You got to bring your A game with Miss Sophia. She's just damn good. Funny as hell. So we got them, and then we got Miss Mary. Miss Mary is the resident mama. Miss Mary Mackins is Madison's mother. That is Madison's mother. She is like I said, she's everybody's mama. She's the cook. That's what she does at the show. She cooks and she prays. She cooks and she drops Bible verses on the kids, honey. That's it. Everybody loves Miss Mary, honey. And Miss Mary, truth be told, You have to watch Miss Mary when Miss Mary's on screen, because Miss Mary will steal a scene on you too. Miss Mary is funny as shit. And it's not, the thing is that she don't be trying to be funny. Miss Mary is her funniest when she gets tickled at something that one of them did. And then after that, you spend the next 20 minutes laughing at her response. Hilarious. Completely hilarious. So we met them all. Then they showed a little bit of the funny that is Miss Mary. Maddie was showing, and I actually remember this because this is actually part of a video that she actually did on her YouTube where she was actually opening, she was doing an unboxing for some things that people had actually sent her, gifts and things. And there was this little dress. And when I say little dress, baby, it was a little dress. It was a little dress. And when she pulled out the bag, honey, Miss Mary was given the dress. She's like, I'm gonna go try it on. So she goes and puts this dress, child, and she come out, and Miss Mary was like, oh no, oh no. Baby, when I tell you, I sat there and kikied at Miss Mary. Miss Mary sat over there and clowned. Do you hear me? I mean, I said, whoever made the dress and sent the dress, sorry, because y'all, she clowned that dress, child. She said, oh, she turned around, boo. Oh no! Justin, and don't bend over. Hilarious. It was hilarious. But that's where you got to see Miss Mary. That's Miss Mary and her element. Hilarious. Hilarious. She is funny. And she wasn't trying to be funny, but it was funny as hell. Squalling. Honey, I was over here squalling at her. And I saw that live video in real time, and watching it back, I laughed, I think, just as hard as I did when I seen it in live, on live production the first time. Funny. That was funny. Her face, looking at that damn dress, I said, Lord have mercy. But let me just say this about T.S. Madison. I love the way they introduced her. Like, they brought her up and she's all the way glammed out and fuchsia. She looked gorgeous. And that's one of the things, is that she is that. She's gorgeous. She's absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful trans woman. She is one of the prettiest out there. She's that girl. Okay? But the thing about Maddie is they didn't just portray her as, oh, she's just this pretty trans woman. That's why we gave her a show, because she really, really looks like a woman. So we just gave her a show. I was like, please don't do that. Don't do that. And they didn't. You know, she, not only is she pretty, it helps in the way that she actually is. Because when she's introduced into the actual show, not this pre-recorded stuff and all this, when they actually show her in the reality realm, bringing her into the show, she rolls in. She has this little outfit on. You know, it ain't much of nothing. It's you know, stretch dress and not over the top drag or anything like that. It's just a dress. And she comes and she's painted up now. She's ready to do the show. But this heifer come down there. She got these bright gold, or they weren't gold, they was canary yellow eyelids. I said, girl, where's you going, bitch? Where's you going? And I thought it was brilliant to bring herself in there with that it was the true live T.S. Madison experience. She wasn't overly glammed, because that's not Maddie. Maddie's not this overly glammed, you know, drag performer with too much nails and too much rhinestones. No, she's a trans woman, but she is a fun, free spirit. She is a person that doesn't really take herself too serious. Because only a bitch that don't take herself real serious come in there with some big old bright yellow eyelids, canary yellow eyelids. And like I said, being pretty, and see, here I go. I'm getting ready to go laugh, honey. I'm going to go laugh. There's some shade getting ready to come. I can feel the shade rolling up in me. I can feel it coming up my back. And it's getting ready to come out. But just really, come on. Of our trans women, pretty does help. Just like with regular cisgender women. Pretty helps with certain stuff. Big yellow eyelids. Being pretty, yeah, okay. Can you imagine Caitlyn with some big yellow eyelids? Girl, if you don't get, Katie did, girl, if you don't get out of here, some big old yellow eyelids. It wouldn't. But Maddie, that's her personality. She just crazy. She crazy, and she'll pull little stunts like that, and be just as serious with these eyelids. I mean, them eyelids was just as bright. I said, girl, bright as hell. I mean, stone cold canary yellow eyelid, Tweety bird eyelids. I said, girl, you better come on through here, and damn, Maddie. I wish Caitlyn Jenner would, honey. Miss Kate, girl, if I see Miss Caitlyn with them yellow eyelids, girl, I'd take her and bitch if you don't get out of here, honey. I told you I was gonna be shaky. Let me off my soapbox, but don't boom, bam, but I'm back, honey. Miss Caitlyn, girl, you know better, honey. You know better than to try to pull that. But I thought that was genius because that's Maddie. She's fun, and she doesn't take her persona. She don't take it all that serious. She is about the roast and the gag and a kiki. It's a kiki. Maddie, I think, will laugh at herself before anybody gets the chance. Somebody try to crack some jokes or something. She'll laugh at herself before they ever get the chance to do it and then cuss them out. That's just the way to be. But I thought that was brilliant, them old yellow eyelids. She don't walk around with yellow eyelids all the time. And that's why I said, why did they choose those yellow eyelids? And I said, but you know what? As really opening up, girl, that was a cute icebreaker. One, you came in first, completely glammed. It was like, yeah, bitch. But not overdone, but glam. Giving you Pretty Woman, honey, and fuchsia and hot pink. And then, girl, you come through with the fun, honey, with them yellow eyelids. And it was like, child, let's have some fun. And I thought that was brilliant placement. I really, really did. So we go through that. We meet Miss Mary. They went through these Miss Maryisms. Child, Miss Mary. Miss Mary. She has isms. She says words wrong. And she knows she says it wrong, but she ain't gonna sit up and she don't take it to heart. She knows she's saying it wrong, but it's her version of it, and y'all know what she's talking about, and don't try it. You know? So they were literally teasing her and making a whole list of her isms, and they tease her, but they do that to her all the time. So that's real. That's reality of what goes on over there at that house, child. So that was really, really funny. And then we had a real touching scene where you have these are the sides of Miss Mary, truly, where her and Maddie had a conversation about her transition and how she left. Oliver and Chi-Chi were actually sitting there as well. It was kitchen table talk. You know, and she talks about how Maddie literally left her family. She went away from her family to do her transition, and then she come back. You know what I mean? And that happens a lot. So that was like a nice little PSA. You got real life emotion. That's what I said. Again, the show is giving me bits and pieces of everything I need for a reality show. It's not contrived. It's just, they are literally following her life. And it's not generic. And I'm very happy with what I'm seeing thus far. I'm happy. I asked you, TS, what story were you telling? I got it. Continue. We're watching. Yes, go ahead. And then Maddie, here's something funny, child. Maddie's body. Why you destroy that chair out there in that backyard, girl? Maddie got a lot of junk in her trunk. Okay? She got a lot of junk in her trunk. And she ain't got such a small backside, honey. She went out there messing with Oliver in that backyard, honey, and sat in that chair. And you heard, and the chair had a little creak, honey. And the chair, I think it got a little bent, honey. Child. Maddie, her goodness, her goodness, her goodness and her juiciness, honey. It gave that chair the business, honey. And then Oliver cracking jokes on her and took the chair and going to throw it over in the bushes. I said, you know what? Y'all are doing that was pretty funny, too. Funny. Just a good time. And then we went into where things got really, really real. Okay? As we transitioned on into where the show's really going. All of that led us up to, we met the family, we met the crew, we know what's going on and who's doing what and how they're going to do it. And then we moved into what this show is really about and how, what this was going to go down. The reality of COVID is where we went. It started with a conversation really about Chez. And Chez, you know, not taking the COVID serious. Well, nobody was really taking it serious. Y'all remember how that went? Because remember, we're in the reality world, so this is like a year ago. Nobody's really taking it all that serious, except for the grown folks. Miss Mary been watching, paying attention. Miss Mary has some health issues. You know what I mean? And, you know, you got health issues. COVID is not. Rona, that bitch, that Rona. See, Rona preys on those that have pre-existing situations. She's old sneaky whore, that Rona. See, and Miss Mary was educating herself. She was watching the news and she was paying attention. So she knew. And she was bringing Maddie and them up to speed. Like, I don't know everything, but she knew that she didn't want to play with Rona. Okay? So they were getting down on Chez. And I remember when this was going on. When she was fussing at Chez a little bit. I remember. About, no, you got to take this serious. You can't just be running in and out the house. You can't be partying. Chez did his confessional. He's like, I'm young. I want to be out amongst the people. Again, not knowing the seriousness. I mean, a lot of people did this. It happened. But the deaths were going, you know, we got to see this. It was what was really going on. And then it got really, really serious when Maddie ended up making a phone call and she was talking to Tiffany because Tiffany was supposed to guest star on the show. She was supposed to come on the show. And that was when Maddie was going to break the news to her that she wanted her to be a permanent judge on the show for the residency and all that. She's going to roll all that out to her. Tiffany was supposed to be flying in from New York up to Atlanta, and she ends up having to cancel. She's canceling, telling Maddie, you know, the deaths and things, you know, because definitely things were different in New York than they were in Atlanta. Remember, New York got hit. So this is where we are. And I said, okay, so this is where we are. We got real live storylines and real life things, real drama, real life chronicling in this show. And that's where we kind of ended out of this first episode. We see Maddie is kind of in a panic because, again, what's getting ready to happen with the show? What's happening? You know, I have a live show. Then I have a whole thing that I'm trying to do here to branch off. I'm going toward my goals now. And now that was the first part of where Rona basically put her heel on Maddie's throat. So, I am here for it. This is a story that has been told. She hasn't told the whole story of how Rona put her foot on her throat during the pandemic. So, this is interesting. And I'm here for the story. I got it, girl. I see the story you're telling. Come on, Maddie. I got my notepad and I got my drink. Tell your story, sis. Anyway, you guys, this has been the season 1, episode 1 review for the T.S. Madison experiences on WEtv. I'm watching, and I'll see you guys back here next week. Later. www.ChezTreasure.com. Ooh.